Guys, welcome to Waste Not Wednesday. We go live Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and we take junk and scraps and things that we got for free or broken, and we turn them into home decor that we sell in our shop, on our website at jamirayvintagehome.com, or we use to decorate. And we are going to be doing grain sack stenciling because people ask me all the time about grain sacks and about stenciling with paint and then turning it into something that's home decor on pillows. So I just thought this would be a really fun little activity and kind of inexpensive. And if you don't have grain sacks, you can use a drop cloth. You can use scraps from that, and you can use, we actually have a grain sack striped stencil. I'm not sure if I have any drop cloth in here. If I do, I might make some where I show you using the stencil to make a faux grain sack.
It's awesome.
And then we're just gonna make little decorative pillows from scraps. So I thought that'd be fun.
Yeah, that's good. And I'm going to be organizing the scrolly letters with a Sharpie.
So you guys,
eventually.
Here's a little pro tip that I wanted to share with you. We have our JRV stencils. So I mentioned this website, right? The Jami Ray Vintage Home. If you want paint, products, stencils, all those other things, you pick those up at jamirayvintage.com. And what do you need? You're pointing.
Well, just hand me some stuff.
Well, I need you to, did you mark the stencils already?
Oh, no, not yet.
These are the ones I want you to use.
Oh, okay.
So when you get your alphabet stencils, the ones that are individual, if when you get them, you will write the letter in Sharpie on the bottom of them, it's so much easier to keep them organized and find the letters that you're looking for. Because I'm forever like holding the stencil up because it's clear to see like, is that the letter I want? Is that the letter I want? So if you just Sharpie the letter on the bottom, it will save you so much time. You could also keep them alphabetized, but if you're creative like me, things aren't organized. So I usually just write the letter on the bottom, and then I keep them in a Ziploc baggie, and I keep all the alphabets together, and that has been a lifesaver. I actually need to go through all of my stencils and do that. So
is that a D, a B, or a P?
You're gonna have to see.
They're all right here, so.
You're gonna have to see like what I've already marked.
They actually, you know, we could probably get away with just like one of these in this. But then you wouldn't be able to use it in the same word, I guess. So.
And really, for all of your stencils, if you write the name on them with a Sharpie after you open it, it does help keep you. I think, Caitlin, this is the lowercase curly font. Can you look? One of my goals is to memorize all the names of the stencils, but I haven't yet. Also, you guys, if you go to jrvwholesale.com, you can find a local stencil retailer. If you don't have one, then you can just go to jamirayvintage.com, and we are happy to ship to you. So let's get started. I have a pile of grain sack scraps because we make a lot of pillows, and I'm kind of a hoarder when it comes to grain sacks. Like, I sell a lot, which you can pick these grain sacks up. They're free shipping at jamirayvintagehome.com. And I sell a lot, but I also keep a lot for myself because, you know, that's why I do this, so I can have the things I love. And I was going to show you real quick. This is the size of a grain sack that I would use for a grain sack apron, because people have been asking me about these. And I generally just sew, let me show you the back of this, the 3 sides of the half apron. And then on the top, I don't sew it because I attach this. And this is webbing for like upholstery. And I'm giving you all my secrets here. This is from Hobby Lobby, and it's $1.49 a yard. So if you pick it up when it's half off, then it's under $1 a yard, and I buy all that they have every time I go, and I get it in the blue and the red. So if you're wanting to use your grain sacks for aprons, these, the first time I did it, I made my own casing, and it was a big pain in the butt. And then, oh, where can I get grain sacks? We sell them at jamirayvintagehome.com. So we have the American grain sacks. They're a little bit thinner. They're less expensive. And then we have the European grain sacks, which are a little bit thicker, and they're much bigger. So we sell both kinds. Just know that the Europeans are thicker. But I'm sharing my tips with you. So if you're going to make aprons and you want really great ties, you can pick this up at Hobby Lobby. I don't get paid to tell you that. And if you don't have a Hobby Lobby, just look up webbing. Just make sure that it's a material that's pliable. Some of the webbing is a little tough, so maybe a little difficult to get. Thank you. Caitlin is linking the grain sacks below. And I don't like to waste any. So sometimes I'll make a big grain sack pillow and then I have a little bit left over. So that's what I use to make the aprons out of. So a lot of times I'll use like the bottom or whatever. And sometimes the stripes go this way. Sometimes they go across. But this is the size of that. And then I will take and put a little scrap pocket on it. And sometimes I do one big or two small. And then I just sew that on top. So if you're wanting to make an apron, that's how you do it. All right, let's get to pillows.
Pillow time.
Pillow time.
That was a lot of talking. Let's get going.
Oh, sorry. Here's another one. So step 2. This is a grain sack where I did the vertical stripes and I added one pocket. So this is actually just waiting for...
Those are going to be the little half aprons,
These are the half aprons. And Christy, who works here, just got a new sewing machine. And my sewing machine needs repair.
It's on the fritz. And,
so
you know,
I
haven't had time
to
to
finish.
give it the attention it needs.
But this is when you add the half pocket and then you just sew on the strap across the top. And I just measure around my waist and add some extra. And then whoever gets it, if it was too much, they can always cut off, but you can't add to it. So it's better to have a nice long band, and that way it fits more people.
So question for you.
Yeah.
I've got this letter set, and we're missing H. Would that be at home?
Did I even use an H?
I don't know if you used it, but it's not
Oh,
in
harvest.
the set.
I did. So you can't do the word. Oh, and you can't make which without H. Are you sure?
I could just make a tall... I could figure it out for you if we need an H. We'll just use
Sorry.
the K and the N.
I might have lost it because it was at home.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you guys what we're doing to give you an idea. We're just using the mini set and the font.
I
to
is
make
also...
Halloween
Oh, no,
things.
here's I.
And Christmas. I left the nativity out. So. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, this is a good one. So look at this like random strip. This is really not big enough that you could do a whole lot with. The gal, I have another seamstress. She actually makes coasters with her leftovers. Yeah, I actually have a picker. It's not necessarily a wholesaler. I have a picker who gets me grain sacks, and I usually buy like 100 at a time to get a decent price on them. Sometimes I buy like 50, but.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm going to try to not have an eye twitch knowing that there's no H in here.
Oh, where also, Stacy, I have found a wholesaler that sells like the grain sack fabric on the bolt that's new. And I'm hoping to have that in the next month from them. So when I get that, I'll let you guys know. But these are actually authentic grain sacks. So they come complete with like patches and Sharpie marker and all kinds of things. I like to use the actual grain sacks. But some people like a little bit newer. So we'll show you guys how to make faux grain sacks here in a little bit.
None. Everything's here but H.
All right, can you cut this so it's even and then you can get started stenciling on that one?
Yes, what do you want stenciled on this one? Or is there anything particular?
You can do whatever you want.
Oh.
I have all the,
Really?
I have the Halloween mini set, so you can do that. And then I also have the pumpkins from the accessory pack here. And then you have the nativity, if you want to make a Christmas one.
Okay.
So, Donna, the membership boxes Caitlin and I are working on, they will probably not be up for like a week and a half. Our goal is by next Friday to have it all figured out. It's a lot of details, So, so I saw a question here that I missed.
Okay.
Jamie, how does it feel to be 38? I only have a few weeks left in my 37th year. Kind of feels like being 37.
Jamie was really, really worried about 30. We were talking about this yesterday because we're both coming up on 40 here pretty quick. And we're like, oh, 40 doesn't even, like, I don't even have time to care about that. Like, whatever, we're so busy. It doesn't, it's like an afterthought. It doesn't even matter that, we're going to be hitting 40 soon. But 30 was a really big deal for her. She did not even want to celebrate it. She's like, basically, my youth is gone. I'm out of my 20s. And now I just have aches and pains to look forward to.
Oh darn, I thought I had grades.
Like that's the way she viewed it. Like 30 was a big deal, 40's like whatever, we're already past 30, so whatever.
I thought I had drop claws and I don't.
Are we gonna steal some drop cloths from the curtains?
I feel like that's very Scarlett O'Hara. Let me see if I can find Okay, you get started showing them stenciling on that. Let me see if I can find some drop cloths, eh?
All right, so I just trimmed these. They're not like exact. We are sewing these together eventually, right?
Yes, we are sewing them. They need to be pretty square.
Oh, well, you handed
I'm
them
not
to
square.
me.
It can be any shape. It just needs to match.
Yeah, you handed it to me not very square at all, and I just straightened up one edge.
Okay.
So I mean,
there's
it's
a drop cloth over here. No, that's not.
They can be sewn together into a square. How's that?
Yeah, well, it's fine. It can be any shape. This is leftovers.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the stripe, and I'm gonna use it as my guideline here.
Just trying to find.
And we're just gonna do, I think I'm gonna do this stencil again. I'm really liking this scene, this nativity scene, but we're gonna leave the wise men off. It's just a little too wide, the wise men over here. I'm gonna leave the shepherd and the sheep and things and the nativity, and we're gonna leave the wise men off of this one. And it looks like we might lose part of the stables. And while I've got this up here, I might use it to straight line cut that. We'll see. I'm not committed to that yet. And I'm gonna go, we used black velvet on Saturday. I think we've got a few of these we're gonna be making, so I'll do a few iterations of them. I forgot what Jami was looking for, but she's taken off. I always like to give farmhouse updates when I'm up here all by myself. So right now, if you're worried about the couch, okay, people saw the couch video. I'm very concerned about it being pushed in the corner. We had just stuffed it over in the corner to kind of do a sign out over there. It won't be staying in the corner. And we're figuring out a way. So the dining room, we had moved it to the other side once we found the fireplace. And so the couch is a little large for that area, but we think we figured out a way that it'll work and not feel too crowded. If we need to, we can put the table in the dining room back over by the fireplace, because you know, old dining rooms and kitchens have fireplaces in them, so it would work. We were just hoping for more cozy setting with like chairs and a seating area around the fireplace, because eventually they make a ventless insert that you can put in places for like faux fireplace stuff that still puts off heat and doesn't require venting. So we're gonna look into that and actually see if we can make it be like a simulated functional fireplace without having to burn any wood, because the chimney was blocked off a lot of years ago. It's been cemented in, and to tear that apart, I might as well just like rebuild that whole side of the house, because it's adobe and it would crumble if we took the chimney apart. All right, I'll show you guys this up close here in just a sec. On the fabric, I know we've been playing with the swirl method that we learned from Rave Home. Melissa does a great job with that, and she's really good at like blending the colors. I'm hesitant to test my swirling skills on fabric, so I'm just gonna pounce it here. And this is the number 20 JRV stencil brush. It works really well if you've got like a big, large surface. If you have smaller things to stencil, the number 18 is really good. And then if you have like just little tiny flowers that you want, if you really want to capture all the detail in the stencil, we have the smaller ones. I forget the number on them, but they're a size smaller than this. I don't use them often because usually we just like one or two colors and we go. We don't get incredibly detailed on them, but I might start doing that because I was watching one of our stencil retailers do some stuff with some stencils, and I'm like, man, I need to up my stencil game because they're doing amazing work.
So sorry that took forever.
It's all right. We had a lovely chat about the couch.
Luckily.
I haven't been seeing how they've been responding though, so I don't know if there's any questions about it.
How's the roof coming, Zip?
So the old part of the house is completely done. Roof's on, sealed up, ridge caps are on, it's vented. Some people were worried about the cricket getting vented. That's vented. So we're good to go on that, and we are starting today. We're going to start sheeting the addition, and then we'll get we'll start getting the shingles on. I've got somewhere in between there, I've got to call up the city and get them over here for a framing inspection. I have a couple straps, like metal straps that I've got to do, hurricane ties, that sort of thing that I was skipping over a little bit, trying to hurry and get the trusses up. I've got a few things like that we're chasing today and tomorrow. But other than that, we're about ready to put the roof on the addition. I'm hoping that that's a quicker process since I don't have to insulate that part like we did on the old house. So we'll see. I'm optimistically hoping to be shingling by the weekend, but with our lives, it'll probably be like end of next week.
So I can't find drop cloths, but I have these bags that somebody dropped off. So we're gonna pretend that this is drop cloth. And I'm gonna make my own grain sack while he's doing that. But I just have to find like a piece of cardboard to put in here.
You just use this.
I'm just wondering if that's too, oh, that's actually perfect. Thank you.
You know, we couldn't, I'm fairly resourceful. I haven't had lots of tools a lot of my life. And we lost the hammer this morning, and so I was using the back end of my vice grips as a hammer.
All right, so
you know, I think a little piece of cardboard, that worked good.
That works good. Donna wanted to know about the countertop. We are going to finish resining that today. We did it on a channel member live yesterday, and we had some fails, but it's okay. We're gonna keep going.
We didn't have fails. What we had was not enough tape,
which was
which led to a fail.
And I got resin in my hair, and then I got a little salty. But then I fed myself, and it was better. But it's good. And then this morning Zeb made me eat, so I'm in a much better mood. So this grain sack and drop cloth are much thicker than this bag. Oh, good job. Now, here's the thing, though.
I know it's getting sewn, so we might lose the back of Joseph a little bit.
No, we can sew really close to the edge. Because sometimes I get close to the edge, but it's okay. What was I saying? Oh, pro tip. The grain sacks and the drop cloths are really like thick and coarse. The fabric is really open, so you want your stencil brush a little juicy, more than you would if you were painting like a sign, because that fabric just soaks all that paint up. And this fabric is a little bit thinner, so I'm going to make sure my brush is pretty dry because it's more likely to spread. Do we have skeleton?
That is thin. That's like a thin sack that you have there.
It is a thin sack. Do you want to cut another sack?
Yeah, so should I do two sides on this?
No, I just do one side.
One side, okay.
Here's another scrap. So here's another idea of scrap. Like, look at this. I could possibly make a lumbar pillow, but it's too for an apron. So you can cut this down the middle, but you need to make sure you cut this off because it's like virtually impossible to sew through that unless you have a commercial machine.
So Joni is concerned that I'm gonna fall off the roof. Two things. I will have a harness on up there. And second thing, I spent my entire youth free climbing cliffs and rocks and all sorts of fun stuff. If you know what free climbing is, it's like scaling cliffs without ropes or safety harnesses and things like that. I'm still here, so I'm not super worried about it.
Is there a skeleton key over there? I'm trying to find
no
like the color.
skeleton key. But we will take the proper safety precautions. It's 20 feet off the ground.
There's no skeleton key. Do we have blue iris over there?
I'm looking for you.
That's a good cobalt color. So what you're going to do after you stencil your pillowcases is you're going to let them dry for 24 hours, and then you're going to take an iron and you're going to use whatever setting is correct for your fabric, and you're going to put it on there. You can put a piece between your paint and your iron if you're worried about transfer or whatever, and you're going to do 20 seconds in each area, and that's going to heat set your paint. If you're really concerned about it, you can also put liquid patina in your paint, and that will help it be a little bit more permanent. But I always recommend with my decorative pillows that I have painted on that you do not put them in the washing machine, and you guys are actually going to find out here real soon why. I mean, between you, me, and the fence post, I've never washed a small decorative pillow in my life, but I actually do have big pillows that I've stenciled like years and years ago, and I've ran them through the washer and the dryer like on a gentle cycle and a low tumble, and they've been fine. So
it looks like we are out of blue iris. I have some Hay Sailor.
Hay Sailor's good, yeah.
I mean, you could put a little
oh, that's good.
like white swan or tarnished pearl in there.
No, so because we're not sealing it, these colors are going to be more muted. Because when you seal DIY paint, it gets richer, right? So when you're doing it in this application, they're going to be a little bit more muted.
Okay, so this is mostly even. And these grain sacks, if you're getting the grain sacks from us, I mean, they're used. They do have a little bit of authenticity to them.
They have some character traits. I just want to make sure all right, I want to offload a ton. Hopefully this doesn't bleed. This fabric is so darn thin. So I'm just using the grain sack stencil to make my little grain sack stripe here. I may have went too dry. Did you need something? Oh, I went off the, oh no, I'm good.
Okay, I don't know what I want to do on this one. I think I might go something like Halloween.
You know what? I actually brought a grain, you can do a Halloween one, but I also thought it'd be cute to do like one of these mini little grain sacks on it.
Oh, you know what? That would make it, you know.
Use this one. I think that one's better.
Okay.
Because if you're going to use a big brush, this French one on the grain sack minis, you probably can't see it on there. But you need to use a small stencil brush with it.
So this grain sack, missing its logo, right? Got cut off, used for an apron or something else, or a larger pillow. We're going to fix its problem.
I don't know if you can swirl on fabric, so I'm not trying that swirly technique.
And these are often, I just talked about that a little bit ago.
Oh, sorry, I was in the other room.
No, you're good. It's just funny that we always seem to talk about the same things,
well,
whether we're in the same room or not.
We do spend a tremendous amount of time together.
Okay, so I'm going to, this is Hey Sailor, and I'm going to use just a little bit of it, and I'm going to mute it down with some White Swan, because I don't want it to be quite that bright.
The only thing is I probably should have gone.
So I've just got a little dip on the brush of each. My Hey Sailor and my White Swan. Because I'm going to try to get close to this color on the stripe here without completely matching it.
Okay. So when you're using these, they're really long. They have a long span without a connection because the connection would be weird. When you get to the middle, sometimes you have to hold it. So that's important with your grain sack stripes. This is probably one of my most used. So here's my grain sack stripe that I added to this, very similar to the stripes that you would find on an actual grain sack. And then I'm going to, oh, I was going to use that one. But I think
I made Prom Queen, the color. It's a little too bright. I need to go back over it. I'll go back over it in a minute though.
Alright, I'm just going to do this French one. I have a smaller brush and I'm just going to dip into the black. I did not get birthday cake yesterday, ironically.
We were so busy yesterday. We started out, we had a live video to do. I had an eye doctor appointment that actually ended up being today to check up on my eye. My eye's doing great. It's fully recovered. No additional treatment is required at this point. He said I might need cataract surgery on it in 30 years because of the scar tissue.
Oh man, you didn't tell me that.
But
you might need cataract surgery anyways because you have light eyes.
That's 30 years from now, so I'm not gonna sweat it today. He says it's a maybe. It's not even like, it's like something you may have to address later is what he said. Because it does have, the way it healed, it's not reflecting like light back into my eye to make things look blurry or fuzzy. So it healed really well, like it was supposed to, and will continue to smooth out as time goes on. But he's like, it's like anything, as you get older, it may affect you later. Actually, now that I've got it up, I really like that light blue that I made there. And it is a little different than Prom Queen.
Did you just put that?
So that's 50-50 Hey Sailor and White Swan. Is that too blue? You don't like it?
No, I told you to make 2 pillows and cut the top off of it.
2 pillows and cut the top
so now
off. Now we just have a wide one that
so
actually
here's
has a
an
logo
idea.
on it.
We can fix this. Cut this.
I was just centering stuff.
I know. Cut this here. We'll cut it so that way it's like a good size, so it's even on each side, and then we'll use these sides together. So just to make 2 pillows.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm not even sure I said it because it's possible it was just in my mind, and then I might not have vocalized it.
But I'm liking the blue. Chime in if you like that blue that I mixed. That's 50%, essentially 50% Hey Sailor, 50% White Swan to get that color. Well, I'm gonna go close that door so we don't hear
Okay, sorry. We have shipping going on in the other room, as always. It was a long
Jamie's
weekend.
not a door closer.
I would have been more prepared, but I don't know if you guys know, but I'm like BFFs with everybody that works here. And we haven't seen each other for days and days, so we had to reconvene.
It's holiday weekend, everybody was gone.
Yep, and Jean was taking Camry to college, and Christy was camping. So we were all apart for the long weekend. All right, so basically this is kind of like making signs. Just remember that you're gonna have a little bit juicier than with signs because the fabric really soaks up your paint. It doesn't take a lot of paint, and you can also do this with milk paint if that's what you've got a little bit left over. So if you have extra fabric and you're using milk paint and you know that milk paint doesn't keep, it's a really great way to use up the rest of that milk paint is to stencil with it because it literally takes like nothing. Oh my gosh, this turned out so cute. So if you had drop cloth, you could make your own grain sack pillows just by using the grain sack stripe and our mini grain sacks. Or if you wanted a bigger pillow, just use the full size. But when you add the grain sack stripe on there, I feel like it adds more authenticity to it. I think this is actually a wine sack or something. And I'll probably just keep this the way that it is and sell it. This is a cute little bag. I could put another stripe on the top too. Do you think I should put a stripe on the top or no?
I think the one down below is fine.
Another pro tip, guys, once it's all the way dry, if you have a little outside the edge, I have totally sanded fabric and distressed my fabric.
Just keep in mind, if you're using the DIY paints,
they will powder.
Little black dress is going to powder and get on your fabric.
Yeah, so be careful.
We found that out. We're like, oh, now it's really looking authentic, like it's been used.
So don't feel like you have to have grain sacks to make these similar pillows. Really, any linen or drop cloth type fabric will work. But if you buy our grain sacks and you're making pillows, don't waste any of the fabric. You can make a lot of cute stuff. Okay, he's gonna keep stenciling over there, and I'm gonna show you guys finished.
This is gonna be like a little small baby doll thing.
These aren't very big, these ones.
This is smaller.
It's a little, you know what also would be great, Zeb? I will put some lavender in it and make like a lavender sachet.
Oh, that's a good
Also
idea.
a great use of your leftover fabrics and grain sacks is to make little lavender sachets. And we sell lavender on our website. So these are made the other day by me. And I was going to sew them for last week's Stay at Home Shopping Network. This is my personal favorite. Isn't that so cute? And I couldn't because my machine was being done.
I will look at it sometime in the next 6 or 8 weeks.
Oh, this one is also cute, the witch. It's so cute that when I was making these, my 9-year-old boy, who cares this much about decorating, was like, can we have some of these for the house? So I'm going to actually have them stencil some over the weekend. I got my I always have that.
Hey, he's got his Spider-Man poster up on the wall. He put that up as soon as Harrington moved out. He claimed Harrington's room and put that up on the wall.
All right, let's see. I just want to see if there's any. Make a child's apron, you can do that. Joanne says my 40s were my happiest.
I'm looking forward to them. You know, our kids are all doing really fun stuff. And hopefully once we get the farmhouse done, we've got a little extra time and money to go do some fun things. Because right now the farmhouse is taking all the time and all the money.
I was telling him, I was like, I don't think we did anything for my birthday last year.
We were also...
I was like, oh no, because we had our soft opening of the shop September 11th. We got the keys September 1st. And there was a weekend in there, which means there was a Sunday that we didn't work. I think it was 9 days from the day we got the keys to the day we opened. So let me tell you what we did for my birthday last year. Less than this year. I'm like, 2021 is a year I'm going to celebrate. I feel like when you get to a certain age, it's fine. The highlight of my day was going to my son's football game. They won 29-0. He got some sacks in. All the boys sang to me, and they let me lead the team cheer after they won the game, which is kind of a big deal because only the player of the game gets to lead the cheer, and there's only like 12 games. So not every boy
like
gets a turn.
9 games.
9 games? Well, playoffs.
No.
We always... We've never not made it to the championship game yet, so.
Yeah, that little fourth grade team, it's like the same boys every year, and they do
really good. Like, they don't know my name, so they're like, Redrick's mom. They do know me because I'm the loudest.
All right, I gotta stop messing with this, otherwise I'm not gonna have any fabric left. I'm
like
getting this square, and in reality, when it gets sewn, it'll be formed into a square, and there'll be extra fabric on the inside.
And I got this idea. I'm gonna give some credit where credit is deserved. I mean, I have made pillows before from grain sacks. But I got the idea for stenciling on them because it's been a long time since I've done it. I used to do it years ago. My friend, her name is the Vintage Pelican. You can look her up on Instagram, and she has an Etsy shop, and she makes some darling grain sack pillows, and she does stenciling on hers as well, and some like stitching. She's stitched big leaves on them. She does a really good job.
Okay, so are you gonna do sachets out of these? These are smaller. Like you could do sew that like that and make a lavender. Is it a sachet? Is that right? Am I saying that right?
I think that's the word. No, just big pillow. It's fine.
Okay, that's big enough for a pillow.
Well, look how big this pillow is.
Oh, that is tiny.
These are little baby pillows. They're little mini pillows.
Little pillow. All right. I think I'm going to. Well, you already used all the Halloween ones. I'm gonna lean more fall, I think, on mine.
That's fine.
Let me go see what we've got over here, stencil-wise. You've got all the Halloween stencils out.
Yeah, there is a Christmas mini set. I don't know if we've opened it. I made this one. It's for fall with the pumpkins. You know what I like about grain sack stripes? If you get them straight, you can use them to line up your stuff, like my pumpkins. Michelle says, hi from France. Love the English Chesterfield. Thank you. I love it too. I will make it work. I've been working with, all right, Rave Home Furnishings. Last time I called her Monica, and that is not her name. What is her name, Zeb?
Melissa.
Melissa. I'm horrible. Melissa has been giving me some really good information. She has a home staging company, and so I'm going to take some of what she said, but it's probably going to be a while before I implement it with the couch at the farmhouse because I'm not really decorating anything else right now. And I also did order a smaller version of it that's called the chair. It's like 47 inches wide, so it's really wide for a chair. It would probably fit there. So we'll see how that looks in the space.
I have an idea. I'm going to use this mini barn quilt in fall colors.
Oh, that would be cute. I like that. So we're going to need, like, I used fire starter on this, so that's already out.
Okay.
But if you had layered chocolate.
Like a layered chocolate.
And also the cherry picked is a really great fall color, and we already have Hey Sailor.
I think we have.
All right, so this one's all stuffed. Now, here's my pro tip. I get so much crap for this, so much. But here's the deal. I am not good at hand stitching, and every time I have tried to hand stitch, it doesn't look good. They're just decorative, and every pillow I've ever done like this has stayed together. Even I've probably sold 40 of these over my lifetime of pillow stenciling, and I've never had anybody complain. But when you get, now, Christy, I didn't tell her this ahead of time. I like to leave the opening on the bottom because it's less visible, but this one's on the side, which is fine. I use hot glue, not any hot glue, but this is like the super duper mega, like Hobby Lobby carries it, Home Depot. It's like the hot glue, high temp, the hot glue that glues anything. Gorilla hot glue sticks, yeah. Gorilla hot glue sticks is bomb. And I just take my little corner that I've got here and make sure it's nice and neat. And I just run a bead of glue across here. Now, I don't know if I can do this live and not mess it up. You have to be neat. Like, that is important. You don't want to make a mess because you don't want it to be obvious that you didn't stitch it. Oh, I say I gotta be neat and then I get everywhere. And then you come across this way, pull your little corner out there, and then I just hold it till it dries, and then I come back when it's all done and I make sure that there are no hot glue gun strings, and then I pull it apart and make sure, like, if I have anywhere where it's not quite like this, I did a really good job, but occasionally you'll pull it apart and you'll see, oh, I need to add a little dab of hot glue here or a dab of hot glue there. You just want it to be really well put together. And then, look, watch. Look how, I mean, this part is sewn, this part is hot glued. It works very, very well. I mean, it's just a little decorative pillow. Look how cute that is, made with scraps. So, there you go. I tried to see if I could hot glue a whole pillow without sewing it at all. It didn't work. It just was a pain in my derriere.
It was hard to get it straight.
But I love using the authentic grain sacks because like this one has a patch. It's got stenciling from it on the back. So this one turned out really cute. And I sell these little pillows like I would a little sign. This one is $9.99. So I'll give you a price point for these. Sally's late. Gianna says chop it. There's like a little mini chop. Anyways, these look really cute in Halloween vignettes or whatever. So I'm gonna keep working on that while Zeb's stenciling.
I'll show you guys up close here in a minute.
I stenciled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because I already had one from last week, and I stenciled them in about 45 minutes.
Did you show them how clean the stencil lines are on these?
Yeah, because this fabric is so thirsty, you very seldom will get any kind of bleed through. It just soaks it right up. Let's see. Try switching living room and dining room. So here's the thing. We have to have a ginormous farm table. I can tell you right now, my 9-foot farm table is not going to even remotely fit on that side.
The couch is 8 feet.
Yeah, so on the right side, when you go in the door, is a smaller area, and the left side is longer. So you can't swap them. I mean, you could if you wanted a smaller dining table, but I'm not willing. Like, I love things to be beautiful, but they also have to be functional. And we have a ton of family. Like my parents, I don't know if I told you this, my parents now live with us. So Harrington's off. He's at college. Well, he's actually home quarantining.
They gave him the option to quarantine in the quarantine dorm with people that are actually sick. He just got exposed. He's not sick. And they lock him in there for 2 weeks. You can't come out. You have to stay in there. Like, the kid was going to either get kicked out of school because he was going crazy, or he could come home. So we're like, come home, you can help me on the farmhouse. So I've got Harrington for like a week and a half.
Yeah, so Harrington's here, but normally Harrington's at college, but then I picked up my parents. So now there's 8 people in my house. Gotta have. Les says she does not like the toilet off the dining room. I agree with that. And if we are eating, they can go, like, there's a toilet. If you go out the hallway, my parents have a guest suite, but there's a door open to the family room, so they can use that bathroom. If anybody does this too, while we're eating dinner, right there, they're me in trouble.
It's got a fan.
It's got a fan too. It vents outside.
You know.
Why did he have to quarantine? Because he came in contact with somebody that had a situation. My daughter Odelia, at her school, also came in contact. And so she's also quarantining at home. So
neither are sick. It's just the school policy. If you're within so Odelia sits like 6 feet away from someone
less than 6 feet from somebody
that was sick. So she's at home. She's fine. She's not sick. But we're just taking all the precautions and following the school guidelines and keeping her home.
Yep. So, anyways, that makes 3 out of 5 of my kids that have had to quarantine. And not been
sick. Yeah, Jack had to a couple weeks ago.
Jen, I do not seal these. I let them dry for 24 hours and then I heat seal them by using an iron. For these, I can use our hottest setting because this fabric can hold up to it. But depending on your fabric, you just use whatever setting is appropriate. And then 20 seconds in each area across your design. And you can put a piece of fabric in between it if you're worried about transfer or whatever.
I've been using the same brush, but I'm gonna actually wipe it off a little bit.
And honestly, the bathroom that's off the kitchen is going to be the guest bathroom. My kids, once we have other bathrooms,
we have 3 other bathrooms going in on the addition.
Yeah,
so.
They will be told that they may not use that bathroom unless it's an emergency.
Like that front bathroom that we've had it's got antiques in it, like an antique mirror and things. It's for pretty.
Yeah, no, none of my kids are sick. We're all fine. If you have kids that are going into school, it's just the rules. If they have exposure, they have to quarantine. But so you guys may not know this, but we are in-person schooling here. It's optional whether you want to do that or at home, and all my kids are in person. So I know that Jack was just at a friend's house when he had to quarantine, but he only had to quarantine for a day and a half because by the time the health department called us to notify us that he had to quarantine, his quarantine was almost over. So I had to go pick him up at school and quarantine him for a day and a half. I was like, you do realize the kid's been at school for a week and a half and football? Oh, also, did we tell you guys he gets to go back to football in 2 weeks? He's really excited about that.
Yep, the orthopedic specialist was like, he can still play. That cast isn't moving and he won't hurt it.
Are you going to add any color to that, like blue or?
I have a blue dot in the middle, and then you see these over here? They're going to go apothecary.
Okay.
We're doing some color mixing.
Okay.
We'll see how it ends up. If it doesn't, I can stencil over, and we'll just have another deeper, richer color.
Another way to stretch your grain sack, guys, is to back the grain sack pillow, the side that you're not looking at, with drop cloth. I've done that a ton. Or a ticking stripe fabric. I'll show you guys. If you want to stretch it and get the most bang for your buck, because grain sacks aren't cheap. I will back them with scraps of ticking stripe on the back. Is a really cool combination, and then you can get twice as many pillows from your grain sacks. Where should we use the mini pillows? So I like to use them in vignettes. So like if you're setting up a little Halloween, you can like put the little mini pillow on there. Or if you've got like a chair, it's really cute to have like a big pillow behind it and a little pillow stacked in front of it. So really anywhere.
Like you have your all year long pillow back behind and then your seasonal pillow in the front.
Yeah, you can put them on a shelf, whatever works. Also, if your kids, like if you have little girls that have dolls, it's really cute to use them in their doll, like to play with them. My daughter used to decorate her doll stuff seasonally. She might take after her mother. Yeah, my kids are fine. They're really resilient. They're not. Odelia is missing homecoming, but I could have taken her in to get tested, and then they would probably let her back and she could go to homecoming, but she doesn't want to have anything shoved up her nose, and she has 0 symptoms, so she's like, I'll just ride this out at home.
Odelia's kind of a homebody anyway. It's basically like she got fall break.
Oh, Rachel says you could make really small pillows and use them on tiered trays. That would be really cute. And the whole thing about Waste Not Wednesday, guys, is you want to make sure that you're not wasting things that could be used for either decor or gifts. Like I know that a lot of people do neighbor gifts. So it'd be really great to take a bunch of fabric and make some really cute mini pillows. You know, you buy one Christmas stencil, a bunch of fabric and some batting, and you can make a whole bunch of pillows in one evening. Okay, I'm gonna finish stuffing this one in there. And if you're just tuning in, you can pick up the grain sacks at JamiRayVintageHome.com, and you can pick up all the paint products at JamiRayVintage.com. And if you want to make your own grain sacks, we sell a grain sack stripe, so you can make your faux ones with drop cloth.
My apothecary got a little muted when I mixed it with brown. I'm gonna brighten her back up. I'll show you guys. This is
That's actually kind of cute.
my color theory. I was worried it wasn't gonna work, but I think for fall colors, it's turning out good.
Always make sure when you're doing this with the hot glue that you catch any threads. Oops, like that. Shove that in. I don't recommend touching hot glue with your own finger. I don't have fingerprints anymore.
So layered chocolate. This is fire starter with possibly a little bit of layered chocolate mixed in because
That's
I didn't clean my brush. This is the Hey Sailor and White Swan 50-50 mix. And then this is a little bit different. It's a little off from the mix. That's apothecary in the middle.
Jana says she loves your color mixology, and Les would want her own pillow to chew on. You know, if you let your dog chew on the pillow, it's cool. All right, can I have the scissors? I have one string that I didn't tuck in.
Yep.
Everything else is glued nicely.
Looks like you have 2 strings.
Oh, there are 2 strings.
It's all right. They had a lot of fray on there.
Ironically, I always double stitch my pillows. And ironically, I've had, so this was like sewn in there, that's why I couldn't get it. I've had the stitching fail and never the hot glue. So
I think I've got this other mini
Okay, this one's on the bottom, so I like it on the bottom.
Barn quilt one.
That's cute.
I think I'm gonna do you have more scrap? I'll just do it on the other side for time purposes. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're good.
Jane says that her daughter teaches autistic children, so she has to be at the school. So our gal that nannies for us, like when we go to California, we've got a trip up to St. George. She is a special needs preschool teacher, and she has a lot of nonverbal children in her class, so she has had an interesting time with the situation, but she's done really, really good.
Okay, I'm going to use those same colors but different patterns so that the two pillows kind of match, and we'll just cut 2 more squares for the backs of these from scrap over there.
Polari Mom, I have new plus-size joggers coming in this week. They're supposed to be delivered Thursday, so they might be on our stay-at-home shopping network. Just depends on how early they get in. For sure we'll have them by Friday, unless UPS has a situation. Ironically, I ordered a bunch of new joggers, and you never know what's going to be out of stock. All the plus size were in stock, and I only have 1 new regular size jogger coming in because the rest were out of stock. But don't worry, I ordered them. They're coming in. I actually ordered them as soon as the other joggers went up and sold so quickly. I put in an order, a reorder, but it just takes a little while to get here. But I got more coming. Donna, I was supposed to wear a new shirt. This is actually probably one you haven't seen for a while. This is a Sea Beauty and Everyone sweatshirt. I haven't brought it out because it's been summer, but it's
sweater
cold.
season.
It's
we're
cold here.
getting there. Like in the evenings, it's down in the 60s,
Yeah.
even when it's like warmer. Like we have a little bit of a cold snap right now. Storm blew down from the north, but it's been good. Oh, and someone was asking how I thought I saw the comment fly by a while ago, and I forgot to respond to it. The house has held up great. We had a good rainstorm, no leaks on the roof that I just redid on the shingled side, and everything structurally on the other part of the house is a-okay, like no movement whatsoever.
So Michelle had a good idea. She said you could soak the sack first in tea or turmeric. That would actually work really well for if you were using a drop cloth and you want it to look more aged, like the authentic grain sacks. You could totally tea soak those. What are the sizes on the barn quilt stencils? So these are probably 6-inch stencils?
Yeah, there's...
and the bigger ones?
I want to say they're probably 5.5. They look like a 2x6 planed down.
Where's the...
I'll measure. We'll measure for sure.
We'll measure. Can we measure the big...
the full-size ones?
Full-size ones? Because we have full-size that are sold individually and then the mini pack. And I made them because... I know a lot of people love to make barn quilts, especially for like classes and stuff, if they're doing stenciling and painting classes, and you can cut them out of vinyl, but then you have to weed them and you go through a lot of vinyl. These are made really, really thick, so you could use them over and over again. Oh, Les said she doesn't let her dogs chew on pillows, but she would want to. Let's see.
Okay, so
I will show you, Donna, a new shirt that I was supposed to wear today and I forgot. It's cute.
The full-size barn quilts, this is an 11.5-inch square.
Oh, that's 11.5 inch?
Yeah.
So it's probably...
So it's actually, if you measure the actual stenciled area, it's exactly 10 inches.
So those are 10-inch, the big ones, and then how big
I'm going to say 5.
I think they are.
Like the actual stenciled area is 5.
5 inches.
Yep.
Alright, as soon as I'm done with this pillow, Donna, I'll show you the shirt that I was supposed to wear today, and I forgot.
Alright.
I gotta get these done because I need to clean my studio today. It's a hot mess, and I need to finish our Saturday thrift haul projects that sold, so that way Christy can ship them. So I gotta work a little before I go to the farmhouse. Tony says, we just made new curtains from Home Depot drop cloths and have extra. This is a great idea, but you don't know how to sew. Seriously, like, I don't sew well, but if you can do, I mean, it's just a straight line. It's really simple. Or if you have a friend with a sewing machine, like since my sewing machine broke, I already had these cut and stenciled. I think she just did these in a matter of minutes. So just maybe exchange some cookies for like 30 minutes of sewing, buy them some fresh thread, and they might be willing to sew them for you because these are pretty simple. Sandra, you can use drop cloths right out of the package. The ones back here they're just like stiffer. I like to wash mine and bleach them at home to make them a little bit lighter and softer. It kind of depends on what you want. Yeah, I'm all about the sharing of skills. Like if you got one friend that can bake and one friend that can sew and one friend that can do this, together you have it all. Okay, let me see if I can get this in here. Pull that corner out a little bit.
I think my fall colors are working. I've got some lighter blues mixed in, but it feels like it's matching all right. On the color wheel, the orange is throwing everything off, but it works because it's a barn quilt, and sometimes you do crazy things. If you've seen them back, you see them a lot back east in the Midwest.
Come on, the barns. I want to make a barn quilt for the chicken coop because it's like the only thing we have close to a barn at the house.
I will eventually have a large barn somewhere.
Somewhere
in the world, I will have a barn, and we can
maybe when we buy like property in the Woodson.
In the Woodson.
In the Woodson.
Next by the Meeson.
I really want to buy a bunch of old single wide trailers and make like a little like getaway for my friends and family, and like decorate them all cute.
We would fix them all up, all like you know how we do. And
I mean,
like wrap around porches.
They're not made very well.
Like
I'm like, they're like cabins. I mean, as long as they're more than a tent, we're good. All right, so there's another side. Oops, we got one string. But you can see how well that hot glues up. Look at that. Boom. When it's all the way dry, I always just make sure that's not stuck together. Okay, I'm gonna go get that shirt for Donna.
Okay, I'm just gonna add my fire starter here. And the fire starter is really bright on the fabric. You'd probably have to do 2 coats to get it this bright, because you can see on my other one, it's a little bit, it's almost like a brownish, orangey color.
So this is the shirt that I was supposed to be wearing. Maybe I'll go try it on.
Oh, okay. She's gonna go try it on.
Try it on. I forgot to wear it today.
Alright, so I'm gonna do 2 of these orange squares in the fire starter. What color do you guys want to see in these other corners? I have 2 corners over here that I could add another color, or I can do fire starter in that too. Veronica has, her boys made a large barn quilt for her barn. She loves it.
Hey Chris, how do we name this new shirt?
Yeah, these would make great little pot holders.
How much is it?
So you see the 2 corners that aren't done? Should I just go fire starter in the corners or do something different? I'll wait for a minute and see what you guys say.
All right, I'm in my new shirt.
So out on the table, I've got Hey Sailor, Bohemian Blue, Layered Chocolate, Cherry Picked. I don't know that would look, that might look more like the Layered Chocolate.
I said fire starter.
Just do fire starter in the corners?
Yeah. Okay, so this is the burgundy boho top. It has a button detail here. It's $19.95 with free shipping. It is lightweight. No, oops, that's just, I thought I had strings. That's just the thing that helps it hold it up. And this has little ruching on the 3/4 sleeves, which I like. And it's good jewel tones for fall. And it is nice and loose and generous. Super chat, happy birthday, glue stick fun. Thank you. I go through a lot of glue sticks. What size am I wearing? Can you see? I didn't check.
It's a small.
It's a small. So, there you go. I've got a few more fall shirts that are coming up, but you never have to wait when it comes to our clothes because everything's free shipping. So, just order what you want when you want to. This one is a small. And you can see, I'm about a C cup, and it's got like a decent amount of room left. The arms, I would say they fit normal. They're not tight on me. I got decent muscles, so. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so here are the 2 designs. And I think there's, how many come in that pack? Caitlin, do you know? Are you still watching? I think there's like 4 or 5 designs. Maybe Jamie says maybe 6.
Yeah.
That come in the pack. I'd look it up, but my phone is currently running the live video.
I wanted to do one with the font. Have you done one with the font yet? Do you have one left over?
I have the back of this one. We could just cut another piece
Yeah, that's
to make that fit.
Because we're going to have to cut backs for these, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Let's do one with acrylic. I really love this font. This is the font that I have on this one with the black caps.
Okay, so I don't have, I'm missing, is it
Teganique, you'll have to watch
H?
the replay. Are these the full size or the minis? These are the mini.
These are the mini size. They're 5 inches.
They're 5 inch.
And then the full size, to give you a perspective, so this is full size, it's 10 inch. And these are the minis, 5 inch.
You could also use, what's the other orange color? Not Fire Starter, but what's the other one called?
Summer Crush.
Summer Crush. It's a more of a brown toned orange, so you could use that.
And then I just used part of the Nativity stencil on this one here. And you can get crazy and do like all kinds of fun colors and, you know, detail out the stencils if you'd like, but on pillows, sometimes it's fun to just do a quick monochromatic.
Well, they want one that says boo.
Okay.
And then you could put maybe the ghosts on it. I did this one that says Happy Halloween because that was the letters. Because there's a Happy Halloween stencil in the mini pack. But
Okay, coming up. Boo.
oh, and since Teganique just got here, I also made my own grain sack with the minis and the stripes. So if you don't have grain sack fabric, you can fake it with drop cloth and our stencils, and even it was Michelle, I believe, that mentioned tea dyeing or coffee dyeing. Oh, I left that door open again. Do you want me to? I can squish past you and close
it's
it.
good.
Sorry.
Here. You don't wear shoes and you don't close doors. It's all right.
It's true. Zeb always gets mad at night.
You love the great outdoors and the breeze running through.
Zeb gets mad at night because I don't shut the door to her room.
I wouldn't say mad, but I do like the door
Slightly
shut when I'm
unhappy.
sleeping. I don't like people sneaking in on me when I'm asleep.
It's true. It's true.
And Jack sometimes will come in the room and he'll just stand there by the bed and breathe real loud until you wake up.
Or he'll just stand by the bed.
And
And you look out, you roll over, and there's two big brown eyes staring at you, and you're like, did you need something, Jack? But lately he's been sleeping in. He's like me. When the days get shorter, I wake up later.
All right, we're going fire starter with the B, and then I'm gonna do the O's in a little black dress, or I might do it in black velvet, which I think.
Hey, Shireen, first time seeing us live.
Hello.
Hello, hello. All right, I think this black cat's in the witch one might be my favorite. I don't like super scary Halloween decor. I actually don't hardly ever decorate for Halloween, just a few things. My friend Kelly is really good at the seasonal for Halloween decorating, and she always gives me cute Halloween stuff, so that's usually the extent of my Halloween decorating.
And I've just been using the same brush and wiping it off with a paper towel the whole time when I'm switching colors.
Cynthia said, I don't really like the scary stuff either.
There's a little bit of color variation in a couple of these, but for the most part, it's good.
Zeb, though, was like, you have to check out the new skeleton out.
Did you go look at it?
There was like 8, so I didn't know which one you were referring to.
I was there the other
They just
morning
had
and
one.
it was gone. Like it was 2-story. It was like 20 feet tall.
Oh no, I didn't see that one.
It was huge. Like the legs on it were this big around. I wanted it bad.
It's funny because Zeb doesn't really get into seasonal decorating, but we might have some skeletons on the farmhouse porch. Who knows what's going to happen. I tell you what, if you get me in that farmhouse before Thanksgiving, I will let you buy any skeleton you want for the front porch.
It's already gone. They're probably only getting one
I
this
could
year.
get more. Don't worry, I know how to get things that I want. Okay. This one I actually stenciled really close to the side. Christy did good to even save the word. I didn't measure out my letters that well. Oh, Caitlin, Ivy's gonna be on here. Thanks, Ivy. Oh, Ivy, I did use one of your sacks. Did you come get the other ones? If you didn't, there's still a bunch over there. I know you wanted these, but I had to use it for representative purposes. Where's my, oh, I did a really good job of folding that. I couldn't find it. This grain sack is unique. It kind of is like purple and like pink. That's interesting. All right, Ivy didn't grab them. All right, Ivy, I will leave those there for you. I won't use any more of them. If you guys are sign makers anyways and you're buying the JRB stencils to make signs, I just really feel like when you use them for fabric, it extends the life of them. Another great thing to do with these is to take the extra, especially if you just have a little, and you can cut them into pendants and make banners. So we don't have time to do it today, but you can make triangles or pendant banners, and you can make them say Merry Christmas or Fall. They're really cute to dress up like mirrors and frames in your booth. So sometimes you kind of have to think outside the box.
Talking about old book leaf banners?
No, you could use these to make banners.
Oh, yeah.
And if you wanted them to be more stiff than they already are, just use some starch and iron them with starch and then stencil them. And you can get really stiff grain sack banners. And that's a great way to use up the little tiny teeny scrap pieces. But I know, like, when I first started my booth, I did not have money to buy a ton of seasonal decor. And so I had to come up with things that were inexpensive on the fly. And I still remember the first time I used drop cloths, not grain sacks, because I didn't have a retailer at the time. But I did like 30 drop cloth pillows for a market and sold out. And it was great because it made my booth look really cute. It gave me inventory. It cost me a couple of giant drop cloths and like a little dab of paint and some stencils. And I was really thankful for that, because sometimes when you do markets, it's not like you have thousands of dollars to invest in product, and what if it doesn't all sell? So I got creative. All right, there's my black cats one. Debbie says,
do you have the ghost anywhere?
I did have the ghost.
Oh,
Is it
it's
in
right here.
my stack? Debbie said, it's nice to see you guys in a more relaxed mood. I've been fed. And I'm doing something that's easy. Like, this is something that I feel like I could do while I watch Star Trek.
So the resin pour is super solid this morning from yesterday, if you guys were watching the channel member video. And it worked out great. And we didn't get any on the floor except for a couple drips that we were able to wipe off because the sealer held strong.
Just my hair.
Jamie's hair did get some stuff on it.
I haven't washed it yet, so I don't know if it's going to come out easy. Hey Pam, she wants a shout out. She's from South Africa and sad she can't get any of our products. I think JamiRayVintage.com ships to South Africa, but I'm not sure. Caitlin would know, or maybe Ivy. Jami Ray Vintage Home is not set up to ship internationally, but occasionally we do ship internationally. People just have to email info@JamiRayVintageHome.com with what they want, and then Caitlin calculates shipping. The home decor is very oddly sized, so it makes it complicated for international shipping, because international shipping, if you're off like an inch or two with what you expect it to be, it can way blow the budget for shipping. Thank you, Bass Wife. She told me happy birthday. Do people buy pillows that are stuffed or prefer to buy pillow covers? You know what? I have sold both. I do make pillow covers. I was going to show you guys how I make the pillow covers for the 16 by 16 or whatever size they are from IKEA. Maybe it's 20 by 20. I don't remember. But I did not have time. So maybe I'll do an edited video and show you guys how I make the envelope covers.
Is that reading backwards?
Is it reading backwards? I don't know. That's cute. I like the bee that's orange. I wouldn't have thought to do that. But
like
if I have time, I'll make a video on that. But I feel like in these small ones, they're fine to just be stuffed. Because then you don't have to charge as much if you're not buying inserts. And people aren't like, especially if they're seasonal, it's not like somebody's using this pillow year round. They're just bringing it out for a month or 2 months. So they don't need something that they're going to be washing over and over again. And especially if it's decorative like this. Make sure you guys are heat sealing your paint. So like I said, use an iron. 24 hours later, you just hit it for 20 seconds, as hot as the fabric will allow, and it will seal that.
On these grain sacks, we do them on the cotton setting, and it's fine.
Yeah, I do it on the highest setting. They can hold up to anything. And I always tell people, just spot clean only. I would not throw these in a washing machine. I mean, I would, but I wouldn't recommend it.
It's not intended use.
Where is your grain sack material? So if you go to JamiRayVintageHome.com, search the word grain sack, and you will find our American grain sacks, which you could get quite a few of these out of, or the European are even bigger. They're free shipping for the grain sacks. And if you want to make your grain sack pillow, if you want to make your fabric go even further, back them with drop cloth, which is much less expensive, and then you get twice as many pillows. If you're making for like a market or whatever, I suggest that.
We're going to do a parade of the stencils.
Kathy says she uses hot glue all the time for pillows. Well, I'm guessing pillows, and she said she hasn't had a problem. How's my big boy doing with weight loss? Well, not so good since he's been home with his mama.
He's at like 210 to 215, depending on if he's had anything to eat.
In case you know, my boy is losing weight to wrestle in college. He's going to be their 184 wrestler at Concordia University, but he doesn't have to lose it till November, so he's got plenty of time. I may have bought him a Danish from Lehi Bakery. I'm out of stuffing. I can't close this one up because I like mine stuffed more than this, so I'll leave this open.
I'll show you the pillows that Jamie made that she's got done over here.
One of the things I also like too, guys, if I like to use the mini, can you show them this one? These are like little letters. They're 1-inch farmhouse letters.
I don't know if you can see
them. They're just stencil one.
There you can see them.
This is a great stencil when you're doing pillows or smaller decor items. And I also like that it's all in one sheet, so you can't lose the letters. Oh, super chat. Erin Osborne, she says, you're both an inspiration to me. Thank you for all you do. All right. It is good to have him home. He is very independent, but he told me he missed home.
He hasn't been sleeping good at
college.
Look,
show him how cute this one is with the patch that goes across the top. Look how cute that is, because it was already patched like that.
It fits the Halloween theme.
Yeah, for the back, I also suggest using the ticking stripe. This pairs really well with grain sack fabric. So I always have that. Make sure you guys are hitting up JamiRayVintageHome.com for the home decor. These will be listed by tomorrow for the Stay at Home Shopping Network. And the JamiRayVintage.com website is where you can pick up the paint, the products, the stencils, the brushes, all those things. And again, if you're wanting to buy an authentic grain sack and not make your own, we have them at JamiRayVintageHome.com. So, all right. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
Love you guys. Have a great Wednesday. Make over that junk.
Save all the scraps and use them.
Yeah, Teganique says remember to like and share the video.
Yeah.
That helps us out a ton.
See you guys.